Life gives us moments when we have the opportunity to make a choice. And what we choose has the potential to change our lives forever. Join us now for another inspired episode of The Breakthrough. And now, please welcome the creator and host of the show, Jessica Dugas.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Breakthrough Show. I am so excited that you're here today. I'm Jessica Dugas, intuitive mentor and host of this show, and this is The Breakthrough. It's the spiritual view for your soul and mind, where we dig deep on today's spiritual hot topics and inspire you with the stories that change our lives. And so today, I didn't know if you knew this or not, but it is Bring Your Cousin to Work Day. At least it is here on the show. I've got my cousin, Jim Spinnato. He's a comedian, magician, hypnotist in the New England area of the United States. And I'm so excited to have him on the show today to talk a little bit about his journey, how he got into doing what he's doing, and why he's so funny. Why is he so funny? We're going to talk about that in a little bit here. But first, I want to get into our hot topics on the show today, which means I need to bring on our panelist of the day. Everyone, please hit the heart button for my personal Canadian Timbit. She's our Jane of all things, our juicy girl, meditation teacher, designer, photographer. Hit the heart button for Tarah Abram, please.
Hey, lady.
I'm glad to have you back on. It's been a minute.
It's been a little minute, eh?
A minute.
So we're swinging back into things.
We're falling. We're falling.
We're falling back into things. A.
See what we, yeah, A. See what we do. Is this what this is going to be like today?
I guess we'll see. It's going to be entertaining and fun.
It is. So what have you been up to the last couple of weeks? I know you traveled and lots of stuff going on.
I did. I was down in the US. I was there for a little bit for a convention, and then I came back, and I'm going to be going through a bit of a house renovation. So getting things prepared for that, back into the swing of things. Hockey, so Canadian, right?
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, so you know that kind of stuff. Just grooving along.
And it's football season around here, around these parts. You know, everybody's crazy for the SEC down here in the southern United States. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Go Tom Brady. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, not at all.
I don't know. It's so funny because, you know, the guys get all riled up. My husband and his friend, like, going back and forth. His friend's like this huge Cowboys fan, and we're real big Patriots fans. And so it's like this constant rivalry going on. And you know, we're going into Scorpio season, which makes it that much more pleasant.
Oh, fun.
We have the new moon coming up on Sunday. And then we have Mercury retrograde coming up on Halloween, and it's Scorpio season, so it's like the trifecta of crap at the moment.
And isn't it like on the 1st, Mars is going to be visible to us? Oh.
Yeah. I think that something I was reading was about that too. So all of this astrological stuff going on, and we've talked about this on the show 100 times, you know, already, that many of us feel like, you know, it does affect things that are going on here. But there's so much more that goes into it than just, you know, the spiritual and the cosmos. Like, so much of our own experience and just the human experience is so important. And I have to shout out to our friend Prophet Calvin Witcher, who's going to be on next Friday, because I watched one of his videos from the other day, and he's always hysterical. And he was like, listen, you know, you're part spirit, you're part divine, but you're also part human. And that means sometimes you're great and wonderful, and sometimes you're an ass. And it just is what it is, you know? So we have to embrace, you know, all parts of it, the spiritual and the very human nature that we are. So is there anything like that you do to sort of balance that out a little bit, or do you just kind of roll with it?
Well, you know, I'm pretty mutable, so I can roll with things fairly easily. But, you know, yeah, like the energy has been kind of intense, but being a water sign myself, I kind of gel a little bit with Scorpio season. I don't mind it so much.
It's, you know, It's not my friend today. It's not my friend today.
The stingers out getting Jess.
And no shade to our scorpion friends around here. particularly cousin Jimmy that's waiting in the green room right now, and my brother Greg, and my sister-in-law Aisha. Shout out to you guys. No, it's like I feel like there's almost a little bit of jealousy there, because like I'm such Tarah and I were talking before the show that we're both reading The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck right now, which is it's such a good book, so funny, really really good. And I felt like it was imperative for me to read this book because I tend to care too much. I'm very emotional about things. That's how I've always been. I get riled up about stuff really easy because I really care a lot. And so I was so excited about reading this book. But Scorpio, that Scorpio energy tends to be much more like, I don't care. I don't care what you think. I'm going to do regardless. And so I feel on my part, there's a little bit of jealousy there. It's like, I wish I could be like that, and just not care. I mean, have you ever felt kind of that way at all?
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm getting much better at it, but yeah, I have to agree. The book is awesome. And it's got a really interesting perspective of looking at things kind of from a reversed way. But it makes a lot of sense. If you get a chance, check it out. But yeah, definitely. I think that Scorpio energy, they're good at being just like, they have that like ability a little bit, I'd have to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So are you looking forward to, we've talked about Mercury retrograde on the show before. Have you felt it at all yet? Like, what's your thoughts about the upcoming one?
It's an interesting one because we're ending off the year, right? We've got I can't remember how many days it is this year. And I think Scorpio really is also that like planet of like transformation and kind of that deeper, that darker side, and transforming it and heading into the fall here. So with that Mercury retrograde coming in, I don't know, I was looking at it, going back and finishing off some things that maybe I didn't have, this year that I want to. So looking at that, and it's interesting. I've been talking to a lot of people, and I tell you, the changes going on in people's lives right now is so interesting. It doesn't seem to matter who I talk to, somebody's got some story of transformation, some big thing going on. Like it's
right.
been common. It's been pretty common. So I'm definitely noticing it, feeling the energy, but I always like to, take Mercury retrograde a little bit lightly. I don't like to put too much focus on it. I just kind of go back and do what I need to do and move forward.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if anybody was going to argue about whether it's a real phenomenon or whatever, that this is the one people would argue during, because just that energy is out there of not caring and just, no filter. No filter when they talk. So if they're gonna argue, then this is when they're gonna do it. But I'm always laughing about it. I'm just like, look, all I can do is laugh now. Like the other day, my microphone went out and all this stuff started, and I'm like, Mercury retrograde's coming. That's hilarious, And is that actually, what caused it, or is it that I'm, kind of not always nice to my laptop? It's probably more the latter. You know what I'm saying? So it's fun. Anyway, let us know your thoughts if you're watching below. I do want to say hi to everybody that's tuning in so far. I saw Crystal, I saw Siri, I saw Lynn. Hi, everybody. It's good to see you guys here. Thanks so much for commenting. Let us know if you're new here live or on the replay in the comments where you're joining us from, and we'll be happy to say hi to you after. Also, if you are on the replay, give us a hashtag replay so that we can find you easily after the show as well. So I want to bring on our guest Scorpio today, who is so much fun. And I feel like I'm sort of biased and I'm sort of not. He's my cousin and he's really awesome. And he's from New England and he has been a magician, comedian, hypnotist for more than 30 years and been doing this forever, as he says. And I'm so excited to have him on the show today. So everybody please hit the heart button and welcome my cousin and my buddy Jim Spinnato to the show today. That's awesome. Yeah, just show a little bit of Scorpio love, right?
Hey, Tarah, pronounce the word O-U-T.
Oh.
Oh, God.
How about say van?
Hey, check it out. What?
Say van.
Say van. Oh, Van.
See, you guys are all like van.
Like in Van Morrison. Hey, what's the name of that book you were talking about?
The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Of what?
A bleep? You only get so many.
Is that what you said? I thought that.
Yeah, you only get so many bucks in a day, so I guess you got to choose how you want to use them.
Wow.
It's a bright orange cover. You can't.
Let me tell my wife about that. We're limited to the fucks we can do today. Is that what? Oh my God.
Where's my aunt at? How's she doing?
Brenda's great. Yeah. She's good.
Oh, good. Well, I'm really excited to have you on. I'm really excited to have you on today because, first of all, it's been a long time since I've been up to see you, and so it's nice that we have this, technology that we can.
Yes, great. You should come up sometime.
I should do that.
Bring Tarah.
I will, and we'll hit the casino.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll be fun. So you've been doing this a long time, yeah. And how did you get started in the comedian magician sort of? I mean, have you always been on the comedian side of it? Have you always been hilarious?
Listen. I don't book myself out as a magician. As a comedian. I do comedy magic. That's what I prefer as opposed to the serious stuff. Like pulling people out of boxes. Not for me. But I just gravitated toward the comedy side of magic.
So you're just a funny person. It's not intentional.
I don't know about that, but it seems to be working out. So it's been a nice little ride for 32 years.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I was telling Tarah before we met up today was that, as seeing you, in this line of work my whole life, the gym that you get on stage is the gym that you get off stage. Like you are who you are. And that's something that I think that's where our DNA differs a little bit because I care too much.
You care too much?
So, I think I care too much sometimes. I get emotionally wrapped up in things where you'll just say things because it's how you feel and you don't care,
Well, that could be a bad thing at times.
Yeah.
So is she right with this like Scorpio energy and not giving a bleep? Is that easy to do?
No. What? No, I care.
No, I think it's more like the, not being afraid of being who you are, like just.
Yeah, that I don't give. That I don't care about. Yeah. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, I don't care. I mean, I've been really fortunate enough where my shows at the casino have been going over pretty well for the most part, but there have been times where people complained about, me, and I just don't care,
Yeah. I feel like you have there's enough people who, I just see people raving about your shows all the time to where,
thanks.
You get a couple people that are like, now, Jim, you've gone too far.
Yeah, you can't please you can't, listen, I've learned many years ago, you can't please everybody. So you just do what you're comfortable with and hopefully it'll work. And it's been working out so far.
So how did you get started in the work that you're doing? Like what got you into it?
Well, do you guys like magic, by the way? Because
love magic.
I'm a freak over it. I love it. I loved it. I remember being 8 years old and getting pissed off because Ed Sullivan would cut the magician out of the show because they were running late. So I just loved magic all my life. And then when I hit high school, when I got into high school at 14, I met a guy who was doing magic for like 3 years. He was only 14 as well, but he could make a coin disappear. God, he could make a coin disappear. He was pretty knowledgeable. So he and I became very friendly, and that was many years ago because I'm 70 and we were 14 at the time, and we're still best friends. I talk to him almost every day. So he kind of sparked it, and he knew other magicians, and he knew about magic stores and magic clubs, and he opened up a whole new world for me. So then I would go to the club, and then as years progressed, I started to do shows, and here I am. It's crazy, isn't it?
Mm. Yeah, it's
I remember doing a show. I remember doing a show at it would be your great grandfather's anniversary party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen the pictures of that one.
Yeah, I had all my hair and a waistline.
It was longer hair then.
It may have been, but now it's today.
You were doing something in the picture with the rings.
Yeah. Oh my God, yes. Yeah. I wasn't Brenda with me too. I think my wife was with me. The one picture I have, she was holding something, a prop for me. But
yeah, somebody was holding something in the picture, and yeah. I think you've made the rounds at the family functions. I feel like too.
I probably have. Maybe that's why no one talks to me. No, I'm only kidding.
So how did you go from sort of going from doing the magic into hypnotism, and you started out with kid stuff too? I'm imagining you're not,
Yeah, when I
yourself out during that.
Yeah, I did magic as a teenager. Then I went in the service, and then I got out and I had a couple of kids. But then, when my daughter was a baby, I started to pick it up again, and then I started getting booked for birthday parties. So for years I did birthday parties like every Saturday, every Sunday. If I have 45-year-old men coming up to me and goes, "Hey, you did my birthday party when I was 5." Wow. So when I was younger in the 70s, I was doing birthday parties, and I was doing Ocean Beach like we discussed before, and anywhere that they wanted entertainment, family entertainment, I was there. And then the comedy club circuit, the comedy clubs exploded in the 90s. Mm-hmm. And so I tried my hand out as a comic magician, doing comedy clubs. And then in the late 80s, I quit my job to do it full time. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Mm. And then in the 90s, I wanted to get into the college market. But back then, this is not true today, but back then, it was very difficult to book yourself into a college as a magician. The big thing was hypnosis. Mm. So some agent saw me somewhere, asked me to be the opening act to this hypnosis show for some guy out of Rhode Island, and I met him, and I was his opening act for like 5 years. And during that 5-year period, I slowly dropped the magic and went into hypnosis. So then I made my living exclusively as a comedy magician in the college market, and that started in the mid 90s, and I'm still doing it today. But my love has always been magic. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So now with the casinos in the area, I'm now doing weekly magic shows and hypnosis shows actually. But the magic is real. Hypnosis has been fun and I like it a lot, but magic has always been my first love. It's great.
I remember coming to your house and trying desperately to get you to show me something, like show me the behind the scenes of a trick, and you would never do it.
I know, like, show me something.
You mean I wouldn't show you how it worked, or I wouldn't show you?
Yeah, you wouldn't show me how it worked.
Yeah, even I have a whole bunch of grandkids now, and I don't even show them. Isn't that weird?
Well, I mean, I think in a way, like I have never really lost that love of magic, and to me, as much as I did not like you in the moment for not telling me, I appreciated it because I still have that. I will still at 38 sit in front of the TV and go, "Oh, I don't know how they did that. That's so cool."
It's cool. Yeah. It's weird because, like I said, my grandkids come over and I'll do something and they'll want to know how it works, and that was instilled in me as a very young magician at 14, 15. Don't tell anybody. So yeah, I still keep it a secret. My wife knows almost everything, but
does she? Well, now I know who to pester when I come.
Yeah.
So how I know you did an interview, the video interview with the day, a
Did you see
while
that?
back. I did see that.
Oh, you
Yeah,
did? Oh, wow. That was nice. They did a nice job.
it was really nice. And they they were talking about, the guy was talking about how he couldn't ultimately be brought on the
Right.
stage because he couldn't. How do you determine if somebody can be hypnotized or not?
Experience now tells me who might be susceptible. Everyone can do it. Everyone can be hypnotized. Whether or not they allow it's another thing. But everyone who has the ability to concentrate can do it, which is why mentally handicapped people can't do it and babies can't do it. But everyone has the ability to do it. And again, experience now tells me who might go under, who might not. You know, but when I get up on stage, I tell people what it is and how it works. I give them a susceptibility test from their seat. Then I ask for volunteers. So like when I do a college, like I did 2 colleges last week, and I'll bet you I had 70 to 80 volunteers at each show, but you can't use them all.
Right.
So you ask for volunteers, they come up on stage. On stage, I give all those people another susceptibility test, and then I weed it down to like 20. So now I end up with 20 people sitting in on chairs. And then I start the process. All 20 people will let me start that over again. All 20 people won't go under. If I get 16 or 17, I'm happy. So I start with like 80 volunteers. I accept 20, and out of 20, maybe 16 or 17 go under, and that's what I do the show with.
So how is that? How is what do you tell everybody a little bit about what you do? Is it just, do you just make them cluck like a chicken? Like what kind of things do we do up there?
I've never had anyone cluck like a chicken. It all depends. If I'm doing, if I'm doing,
Tarah, here we go, Tarah.
If I'm doing a high school show, it's a squeaky clean show. And in those shows, I'll tell people that whenever you hear me say a certain word, whenever you hear me say the word out, the person next to you smells really good, or they smell really bad. And I'll tell them whenever you hear me say another certain word, they'll feel a pinch on their butt. And in their head, they smell and feel the pinch. And it's their reaction. It's their reaction to my suggestion that provides the comedy. The show's not about me. The show is always about the volunteers. So if the volunteers suck, the show sucks. Yeah. And then at the end of those shows, I always tell them that like when this person hears a certain song, say by I don't know who's hot today. Whenever you hear this certain song, you'll dance like her and sing like her. But if I'm doing the adult show at the casino, it's a totally different story. And I don't think I should be telling you what I do there. In the adult show, it's adult oriented, but that doesn't mean there's no nudity and there's no no one's getting naked,
Maybe.
No.
Have you tried before?
With my wife. When I say a certain word, you'll get naked.
Doesn't work on the wife so much.
Doesn't work on the wife at all. I'm not that good, apparently. So it's and to this day, I tell people to this day, I have as much fun as the audience does. To this day, I'll look at the volunteers and go, "What the hell are you doing?" They're acting out my suggestions, but I'm still going, And another thing, I never understood this. I never understood people coming to, and it clearly says R-rated hypnotist Jim Spinnato at the casino. And I never understood why people would come up on stage and volunteer for an R-rated show. Why would you do that? I mean, I'm glad they do, but
I wonder that too. How many of us are like, we're just asking for it?
Yeah, like someone emailed me, I don't know, earlier this week. She was at my last hypnosis show at the casino, which was adult oriented. She can't wait to volunteer and she wants to know the process. And it's like, wow, okay.
Well, I have to say I went years ago. This is really a long time ago. I went to a hypnosis comedian show and I somehow was sitting in the audience and
did you wonder?
Yeah.
You did?
While I was watching.
Yes, get her ass to Connecticut quickly.
I can't wait to see that. I just
What?
No,
Tarah, tell me
because I
about
can see
this.
Jess there. She'll be like, tell her to do this. Tell her to do that.
Hey, so tell me about it, Tarah. You got hypnotized in the audience, right?
Mm-hmm.
Happens all the time. That's the coolest thing to me.
Yeah, it was cool. So then I ended up on stage.
stage.
Of course, I don't really recall a lot of
Right.
it, but yeah.
Who was he? Do you know?
Oh, I don't remember. It was like I was probably now like almost 20 years ago, 18 years ago.
Okay.
It was a while ago.
In a comedy club?
It was like it came to my hometown. It was like there's like 2 places you could go to. So I went to one of them. So it was kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, that it had come around. It was the only time I've ever been to one, but it was really cool. Other than I didn't expect to, because I'm like, I'm not going up there. No way.
You know, that happens more often than not. And to me, it's the funniest thing in the world. And that really makes for a good show. That just happened to me at a college up in Boston. And people kept going like this, Jim, and they're pointing, and some girl was out. She
in the audience out.
Yeah, she hypnotized herself in the audience, so I had to bring her up on stage. And the funny part is, when they wake up, and I'm sure this happened to you, when they wake up on stage, they go, "What the hell am I doing here?" Last thing I remember, I was in the audience. You know, so it happens all the time, especially in the college market,
Mm.
That's fun.
So you do the Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, a little bit into New York. You have such a big following in that area. Have you ever thought about doing a big show like out in Vegas or something like have you ever thought about expanding on what you do?
No, because I hate traveling. I hate it. I hate it so much that I've been doing this full time for 32 years. I've never taken a vacation because I hate traveling. My wife, my wife Brenda, and my daughter Angela, and my grandkids, they all go wherever they go, and I stay home. So I never thought about. I just hate traveling. So no, and I have a lot of friends in Vegas too, but I'm just content hanging around these 3 or 4 states up here.
Well, and it must be fun for you. We were talking about before we came on the show, that your friend Matt Franco that won America's Got Talent is a big deal in Vegas now. Like, it must be fun for you to kind of watch all these guys doing the things like that as well. Do you sort of live through them a little bit?
Well, Matt's, as I told you before, excuse me, Matt is a very good friend. I mean, in spite of our huge age difference, what we have in common is the magic thing. That's how I know him. And I've only known him for he's 30 now. So I met him right out of college. So 9 years I've known him. And like I told you before, we've done magic shows together. We've gone to concerts together. He's a really good friend, and I'm really, really happy for him. I'm so happy for his success. I'm too old now to do that. If I were younger, I would love to do that, because he's doing magic twice a night, 5 days a week in Vegas. He has his show came in number 4 best shows in Vegas to see. Copperfield was 1, Chris Angel was 2. I don't know who was 3, but Matt came in 4th. So he is a big deal. Yeah. And this kid Shin Lim, I know Shin too. He's in Vegas as well. So all my young friends are making it pretty big. I'm happy with them all. It's great. Me, I'm in Connecticut talking to you 2 guys.
Well, I mean, I had Brian Keating on the show a couple weeks ago. He's an astrophysicist out of California, and who has been interviewed by Deepak Chopra. And and he came on, and I said I feel like I'm kind of like, I'm special now because I'm interviewing you too. And he was like, I said, I feel like, I'm kind of like Oprah. And he said, no, honey, Oprah's like you. That's how you.
That's
That's how you have to say. So I would love to know a little bit about,
Here's what I would love to know. Let me ask you a question first, because this is the second time this word came up.
Okay.
When he called you honey, were you pissed?
No.
Okay, good. Because this big PC thing that is driving me up a friggin' wall right now.
Let's talk about
that.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that, because an old man, here's what happened to me. In fact, Seinfeld and Chris Rock both mentioned this. The PC meter is. Ugh. So I'm an old guy. My memory sucks. I'm at a show. I forgot what the girl's name was, and I said to her, "I'm sorry, honey, what was your name again?" And she got pissed, and my agent called me because I called her honey. In that context, I said, "I'm sorry, honey, what was your name?" And she got all pissed off. So when this guy called you honey, you weren't bothered by it, right?
But that, I mean, I feel like some of that is, you know, that's just how we talked, like growing up. And that's how like all of us in the family have always been.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I never thought anything of it. Do you ever experience that, Tarah? Like where people get offended by something?
I called Tarah honey. I go, "What's up, honey?" When I first met her, it was one and she got offended.
I just thought it went with your accent. It sounded like that's how you talked.
I have an accent?
Well, to me, you do.
Say O-U-T.
Out.
It's out. Get out of here.
Hey.
Not out. Hey. When you come to Connecticut and volunteer for my show, I'm gonna knock you out.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be lined right up. I know. I said the first row must be really entertaining to watch.
I'll get you first row.
I'm like, oh, you can put me at the back. I'm good.
Yeah, so that kind of pisses me off, and I know Chris Rock and Seinfeld, who obviously don't need the money, said we will never do a college again because the PC meter is just out of whack. And I was just wondering how you guys felt about it. Because my agent took the time to call me and say, "Hey, the college is pissed." I go, "What?" Because of that one remark.
Yeah. Our friend Grim is watching right now, and she said some people were just born with a stick up their ass. I think.
Where do I see the comments here? Do I click chat?
It's on Facebook. I've got it up on Facebook. And Heather said, "Hey, now, no making fun of us Canadians."
Who said that?
Heather, she's one of our other panelists on the show. She's from the Toronto area.
Heather, what's up, baby?
Yo, Heather, girlfriend.
So, yeah. All right, so
I agree. I think it's too PC.
It's ridiculous.
That's where I'm at.
Oh my God.
You know what I would love to see? I would love to see Jim and Prophet Calvin come on and talk about this conversation. Calvin Witcher is going to be on the show next week. He's a friend of ours. He's been on before. He's doesn't give a shit what anybody, says. He'll say anything that comes to his mind. And I would love to see those two sit down and have this conversation about PC.
That's why. I mean, I still love doing colleges, and I still do colleges, but I really, really, really love the comedy club, because at the comedy club, I don't care if you're offended. Fuck it. I don't care. The colleges, I walk on eggshells a little bit, a little bit.
Yeah.
But anyway, I interrupted you.
No, what's one of your, give us an example of one of your favorite shows? Like, what's something that's happened during the show that just blew your mind, hysterical, you've never forgotten it?
Well, I mean, there are a lot of, I mean, after 32 years, a lot of stuff happened. I will tell you that. Here's what I will never forget. I was performing at Foxwoods Casino, and it was like a sold out crowd. Let's call it 400 people. So one of the bits, all right. So now I got guys and girls hypnotized on stage. Okay. So at the end of the show, I always tell them we're going to have a dance contest. Whoever wins the dance contest gets X amount of dollars. And it's all, So I pull this guy up from the audience, because he's going to be the judge of the dance contest that these hypnotized people are going to perform. So I play a song. This girl who's hypnotized starts dancing for the judge, who she thinks is the judge, because she thinks there's a show going on. There's a contest. Okay. So this so-called contest is, you understand? Are you following me? Yeah. Okay. So the show. So now everyone has danced for this guy who's on stage, who's a judge. I turn my back and I feel something wet on my back. Here's what happened. This guy who I pulled up on stage, who was in the audience, who was a judge, his girlfriend was a psycho. Okay. She gets all pissed off because these hypnotized girls are dancing for him as part of a show. So she comes up with a glass of water and throws it on me and the girls that were dancing for this guy. Keep in mind, these girls that she hit with the water are hypnotized, and it's a goddamn show. It's a show. She got so mad for these girls dancing. That's what she did. So we got her arrested. End the story.
Oh my gosh.
So several months go by, and this guy comes back to my show again and told us that was a long ride home. They were engaged, but he broke it off.
Oh, wow. Grim was asking, how can you be funny and PC at the same time?
Well, you can. I don't know if I can. But listen, like I said, I do a lot of clean. I do clean shows all the time.
Yeah.
And again, it's not me that's providing the comedy. When it comes to hypnosis, I'm not providing the comedy. It's the volunteers. I'm just giving them the suggestion. Hopefully, they'll act it out in a funny manner. You know.
Yeah. There's some really funny comments. You'll have to go back after the show.
How do I see these comments? So I have to go on.
You got to go on Facebook. But
okay, hold on.
We've got some of our friends watching who are also not PC, and so.
So what they say? Okay, I'm trying to find this. How do I find you on Facebook here?
Grim at thebreakthroughshow.com or the Breakthrough Show. Yeah. But Grim said, yeah, she's a crazy. You know what? So
she's a what?
She's a crazy bitch. So.
Witch.
Witch. Halloween is coming.
Crazy witch.
I wish I could see. Apparently I don't know what the hell I'm doing because I can't find.
It's all good. I read them to you. I will read them to you. So do you have? So magic is your favorite thing. Do you have a favorite magic trick?
No, I love them all. I guess I do. Like right now. I'm doing a trick at the casino every week. It's a little convoluted, but I just love it. What happens is, I'll go in we'll get a calculator out, and 4 or 5 people will punch in numbers, and we'll end up with a sum, and that sum happens to equal the number that I predicted, which was hanging on the wall all during the show. It also matches the serial number to a dollar bill that I borrowed from this guy 20 minutes ago. And it also happens, it just matches a whole bunch of stuff. It's pretty cool.
Those are some of my favorite ones too, the ESP ones where it looks like you've completely, do you actually read their mind? Tell us the secret.
You know, I have a lot of magician friends who will be pissed off at me if they're listening to this. There are a lot of guys who call themselves mentalists that want you to believe that they can read your mind, when in fact it's only a magic trick, you know. I saw a guy on TV not too long ago. I won't tell you his name, but I kind of know him, and he wanted the audience to believe that he was really, really reading this person's mind. I better stop before I get thrown out of the magic community.
So I like those ones too, and I think Tarah, do you watch magic shows? Do you ever have a favorite one that you like?
Yeah, I always liked when they made the Statue of Liberty disappear.
Oh my God, that was 112 years ago.
Oh.
Wow.
I'm from Canada. Like, it's a big deal. We're like, wow, how'd that happen?
Yeah, David Copperfield did that many, many years ago. Oh wow, you remember that, huh?
I remember watching it like live. Like, yeah. It was a big deal. It was like, we have to watch David Copperfield's on TV tonight. Like, make the Statue of Liberty disappear. I think that's what it was. It's something like that.
Thank God for guys like David Copperfield and Doug Henning, because guys like me are standing on his shoulders. He made it possible. He made it possible for guys like me to make a living doing this. He's great. He's still in Vegas too. He's the #1 act in Vegas, and he's a billionaire with a B.
A B.
Yeah.
I almost got to see him, but I didn't.
Really? Mm-hmm. He toured here several years ago. I saw him at the Mohegan Sun Casino. He was good. Gets great reviews in Vegas too.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of all of it.
Yeah.
I love it all. Like, I love all magic. Like, yeah.
You guys have to come up.
Yeah. We need to do that.
Yeah.
We should do, you know what, when we finally do our breakthrough live, we should do it at the casino and have a whole group go down and see Jim.
Yeah, I should Facebook Live my show.
I was just gonna say that you should do a Facebook Live show.
Yeah.
And see who we can get hypnotized live.
You know. What the hell was that, Tarah? Get it out.
Who you can take out live.
Oh my God. Oh, that drives me nuts. Well, it doesn't drive me nuts when you say it.
Out.
I told you earlier, I have a friend from Boston who talks like that. What the hell is that? You're from Boston. Actually, one of my favorite magicians is from Canada. His name is Sean Farquhar. And that's one.
Do you know him, Tarah? I always joke around that.
Anybody from Canada, do you know?
Yeah, they all know each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Like when I meet somebody from England, I go, do you know the Beatles? That's so stupid.
I know everybody in Canada, of course.
Sean Farquhar, he's
How
the
it
best.
rolls.
Who?
Who are some of your favorite people you've worked with?
Well, you know, famous people. Matt Franco obviously is one of them. Eric Diddleman, who came in number 3 at America's Got Talent several years ago. But I've been lucky enough where I've worked with. I'm a huge music guy, huge. And I had the opportunity to work with some of my favorite bands over the years. I got to work with Joan Jett about 10 years ago. You guys are too young for all this, but Peter Noon from Herman's Hermits I worked with Poison. I worked with, who's the lead? Brett Michael. Oh my God, I'm losing it now. But I worked with a lot of music acts over the years. I worked with Lou Graham, who was the lead singer for Foreigner. So that's been fun, meeting those old guys. The bands that I grew up with, I worked with. I actually opened up for the Beach Boys. Oof.
Wow.
It was so funny because when I worked with the Beach Boys, when I took the stage, there was 7,000 people in front of me. They weren't there to see me.
What?
They were there to see the Beach Boys, but I reaped the benefits, you know. But when I stepped out on the stage, it was like, holy Christ, there's 7,000 people. So I did my hypnosis show, and then the Beach Boys came on and crushed it. So that was fun.
Yeah.
We used to listen to that album, I swear, all the time driving around as a kid. It was, I think it was like their greatest hits one. It was one of the Beach Boys' greatest hits one, yeah. My parents used to drive around with the roof down, and that song was, you know, Splish Splash, I was taking a bath.
What?
Don't you
I remember the song, but that's
oh, the
not
Saturday
the Beach
night.
Boys.
Wasn't that the Beach Boys?
No.
Oh.
What are you smoking? What are you smoking in Canada?
Wow.
It wasn't the Beach Boys. Oh
What
my
are you
gosh.
smoking in Canada? Then I worked with a band called America. I was a huge. Jesus, what the hell's wrong with her?
You hypnotized me before the show. I know it.
Hey Tarah, listen to me. Hey Tarah, listen to my voice. Sleep, Tarah. Deeper and deeper and deeper. That was a cool.
Maybe you need to edit that part out, Jessica.
Not happening. So how do you think though? How do you think though that the, you know, do you think that the comedy hypnosis is just as needed as like the sit down in a chair and quit smoking kind of hypnosis?
Yeah, that's called hypnotherapy, which is it's wonderful. I just never gravitated toward that because if I can't make something funny, I don't want to do it. Hypnotherapy is a real serious business, so it just doesn't fit me. It's wonderful. People need it. People use it. It's great. But I was just interested in the entertainment side of hypnosis. That's all I ever wanted to do. I mean, I have friends who do both. I have friends who they do hypnotherapy session during the day, and then they'll go out and do a show at night. Me,
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, a friend of mine up in Worcester, Massachusetts, a big hypnotherapist, but then again, does shows in the evening.
Mm.
Me, I just wanted to be, you know, I just wanted to screw around and have a good time.
But laughter's medicine. Like everybody, like that's, I love, like when people are
It
like,
is.
what do you want to go do? What do you want to see? What do you want to watch? I'm like, why not comedy? Like,
Yeah,
love it.
yeah.
Like a good old chance to get a gut laugh.
Yeah, you can actually read some. You can actually read some. That's been proven too. There are reports that you can read online about that. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, so
I mean, that's what we enjoy. We enjoy on the show. You know, that's why I started recording before and after the shows that we do, because even though sometimes our shows can be very serious in nature, you know, we're all, you know, gut laughing and cracking up before. And then, we have these little, hand signals that we make on the screen, and Tara's usually being inappropriate in the chat. And
Oh, let me see, Tarah.
Oh, wait.
The splash. What the hell was that? What was that?
Now my brain's like, what was that now?
Oh, Jesus. Beach Boys.
Replay. Okay, Kokomo.
Kokomo's a Beach Boy tune. Yay!
Snaps for Tarah. Yay! Pat on the back.
Oh my God.
Well, make sure you guys that are watching everybody's talking about laughter being the best medicine. Absolutely. We agree with you. And everybody's also talking about what's legal in Canada, and everyone wants to now visit there. So that's what we're talking about in the chat right now. If you are in the New England area,
frankincense, Jessica, you can let them know frankincense is legal in Canada.
Is legal in Canada.
Yeah.
Is marijuana legal in Canada?
I think in most parts of the country now.
All right, so here's what I'll do. I'll come up to Canada, and you and I will smoke a big joint. I'll do a show with you on stage.
I am coming up there for that.
I'm gonna do the SMH.
SMH.
SMH, Jessica.
Okay. What is that? An inside joke. You have to
Yeah, Dory.
No, we need to. If you're in the New England area and you're watching or listening,
no. Let's get back to SMH. Let's get back to SMH.
It's not as exciting as you
She's
think.
just shaking her head.
Okay.
Yeah.
I learned this one from.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like SMN or anything.
Why am I totally lost here? Oh my God.
Yeah, we're all lost.
Our other friendly Canadian, Heather, says it's absolutely legal, and even to grow it to a certain amount. So
and why are you guys pissed off at scorpions like this?
Can we get back to that? Well, no, it's more that, Scorpio is represented by the scorpion, right? And so scorpions can have a stinger, and they're real. And as I was saying before the show, I think in my case, it's more like, man, I wish I could have a stinger like that sometimes, and not care, and just
Say screw it.
You lean into it a lot better than some of the rest of us do.
You lean into it.
Yeah. That's what I think anyway.
Tarah.
The quote of the day. Ooh.
We're gonna audio bite that one. We'll audio bite that, and we'll post it for you later.
Oot.
Yeah, so we have Jen is watching right now. Genevieve is watching, and she's in Massachusetts. When you go in Massachusetts, are you usually doing college shows, or do you have
we're in I can't see this text. So where's she in Massachusetts?
So Jen, remind me where you are in Massachusetts. She'll say in the comments in a minute. I know that she's not, her sister's in Connecticut. So I asked her if she had been to one of your shows before. I said, you need to go to the casino, and she's like, come up and we'll go together. So
tell her to go to my website, and if she wants to come to one of the shows, I'll leave her tickets. Just to remind me how I know her.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So Jen and Joss, you guys should or you can let me know too, and I can message Jim too.
Love to have them.
Yeah, and it would be fun. You guys can go to a show and see
We're
all
in
the
Connecticut,
shenanigans. Wherein she's more inland than I. I lived in Groton the whole time I was I was there. Yeah. And then in New London for a minute, and it was like anything off the coast, I have zero idea where it is.
I got you. Yeah, tell them if they want to come, I'll leave them tickets anytime.
Okay, she said she's an hour from Boston. That's what she said.
Okay, that could be that could be New Hampshire, that could be anywhere. How about tell her to give me a hint. What town? What's it begin? Sounds like what? Jesus.
I know. Well, you could, if you're in some parts of Massachusetts, if you go an hour, you end up in Connecticut or Rhode Island, or you're just in a whole other state.
Yeah, like me, where I'm at. I can hit Massachusetts, Rhode Island. I can hit Vermont, New York within 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I loved about living up there is that you could be anywhere. Like you could just go to a completely different state and it wasn't that long. And here it's like you go for an hour and you're still nowhere.
Yeah, what's nice here is that New York, like the city, is 2.5 hours away. Boston's 2 hours away. Providence is an hour away. So
Yeah.
it's really nice. Yeah.
She says she's in Framingham.
Framingham. Tell her I'll be at Framingham State pretty soon.
Framingham State. He's going to be there.
In fact, my granddaughter's going to college up there.
I think I'm convinced now that when we go up there to do Breakthrough Live, we should do it at one of the casinos, and then we'll all just make it a field trip to see Jim's show.
Well, we could do it. You know what we do? If seriously, in all seriousness, if you come up, we can. I can have it set up so you can do your show, prior to my show in the comedy club. Yeah.
Tarah.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Tarah.
It'd be fun. Yeah, and then we'll have the whole Breakthrough cast hypnotized.
Yes.
That could be entertaining.
We'll set up.
Who wants to see Alan hypnotized? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you want to see that.
Hey, I don't even know Alan. Who's Alan? Who the hell is Alan?
Alan joined us on the show this year, this season, and he's a riot. He's very dry humor though, and we love him for that.
Where does Alan live?
He was in Vancouver, but now he's in Toronto.
You have a lot of friends in Canada.
Well, my husband attracts them. It's like he's the.
I think you're gonna have to teach me how to do this like hypnotosis thing when we come down.
Hypnotosis thing? Hypnotosis thing. Okay.
Hypnotosis. And then hypnotize. And then I'm gonna hypnotize Alan.
Yeah, and then we'll splash and all that.
And then we might have to throw some water in there. I don't know.
Yeah. What the hell is she saying?
Yeah. How did I say that? Hypnotize. I have a stuttering.
Please get your ass to Connecticut, please.
I know it. We'll get her out there.
Out.
You get me out there.
Tell us about your new website that you have. Your new website.
The holy shit thing?
Yeah. How did that come to be?
Because the website is Holy Shit Gym. HolyShitGym.com. I was doing a magic show, obviously at the casino, and for some reason I said to the audience, when I do this trick, you're going to love it so much that you're going to yell out, "Holy shit, Jim." Well, that became a running gag, and they would yell it out throughout the entire show, and it was so funny. So I had been doing that for several months, and a friend of mine came up from New Jersey to perform with me, and saw how that reacted, and he said to me, "You have to market that. You have to get the website. You have to get business." So he was right. So I did. I bought the URL. So it's holyshitgym.com, which is actually kind of just a landing page. It'll direct you to my hypnosis site and my magic site. But that's how that happens. It's crazy. Holy shit, Jim. They'll yell that out throughout the entire show. It's so funny. So funny. That's how that happened.
This is like, you people are getting like marketing 101 here right now.
Yeah.
Okay? You don't even know.
Yeah.
You don't even know. You came here to laugh and to learn business. That's what we're doing here today. I think it's the funniest thing, and I love the picture on the website that's just like the black and white, silhouette type.
Oh yeah. A friend of mine drew that for me, but that's so funny. I laugh every time I think about that, because this guy came up to me, "Jim, you got to buy that URL." I went, "Get the hell out of here." So I did. HolyShitGym.com. It's crazy.
There it is. I know, Grim, thank you so much. Grim posted one of your other sites below as well. Grim says you have so many websites. Grim teaches people how to build websites. So she's she's obsessed with your websites now. She's looking at all of them on there now. But she did post her.
Ask her how many I have.
How many does he have, Grim? Let us know.
Yeah. I think I only have 3 of them. Oh no, I have 4 of them.
He has 4.
I think I have 4 of them.
We have jimspinato.com. You have jimspinato.com, and then you have holyshitgym.com. What are the other 2?
That is so funny to me. Holyshitgym.com. And then I have Spinnato Magic Matinee.
Yep.
And then I have Delightful Deceptions. I like that website. DelightfulDeceptions.com. Yeah.
That sounds very Scorpio.
Ooh.
You know what I want to do with that is I want to offer this. It's too long to explain, but it's an intimate close-up magic show. It's going to be like a dinner show. Like people, like 30 people have dinner, and then they in one room, and then they go to another room where I'm going to do a little intimate close-up type magic show for an hour. It's going to be, it's not going to be risque in any way. It's going to be really like.
That sounds fun though. Like just a very like a dinner.
A dinner show, yeah.
Yeah.
Shows like that are really popular in New York, and a couple of my friends of mine have one in Massachusetts as well. So again, you go to whatever restaurant in a little room and have dinner. Then you move to the second room where you can have cocktails and watch my intimate show, limited to like 30 or 40 people.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
No hypnosis, Tarah.
No.
Yeah, it's a magic show, but not the hypnosis show.
Can you do a magic trick for us right now? Do you have one that you
I wish I knew you were going to ask me that. I wish I knew you were going to ask.
Bring one on us, Jim.
Yeah, you keep talking.
I'll keep talking.
Keep the camera off of me, and you keep talking. No, keep the camera off of me. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that. So I'll just talk right now, and Jim's gonna find something for just a moment. I'm gonna mute him for a second so that my camera comes up instead of Jim's. But let us know in the comments below if you are in New England area and you've ever seen Jim live, or if you want to see Jim live, let us know as well. And I will get you hooked up with him, or you can find out where he's at and where he's playing at. You can also go to his websites, which Grim has so gratefully posted below for you guys. So be sure to go there and check that out as well. And he's back now, and so I'm gonna turn it over to Jim. I'm gonna unmute him. There we go.
Oh, good. Tell her I said thank you for listing those.
Thank you, Grim.
Yeah. So this is just a real quick thing. I hope you can see this little handkerchief trick. You can see this, right?
Yeah.
Tarah, you can see this? Hello?
Tarah, you're muted, honey.
You muted me. No,
Tarah,
I can see it. I can see it.
Tarah, when I say go, I want you to say out.
Okay.
Ready? Okay, ready? I'm going to say 1, 2, 3. And then when I say 3, you go out.
Okay.
All right, ready? 1. This is nuts. 2. Are you ready? Oh, I don't know if you can see. 3.
Out.
Holy shit, Jim.
Where'd it go?
I don't know. Who the hell knows?
We don't know these things.
Yeah.
Don't tell us how you did it.
I keep getting email sounds here. Sorry, I don't know if you knew that.
Can we do that again?
You're all good. You're all good. Okay, can you do it again?
No, I'm not doing it again. That's another rule. Don't tell how it works and don't repeat it.
Well, that was fun, and everybody enjoy it. I want to say a quick hi to everybody else who's jumped on. Jen came on, Mike came on, Susan came on, and if I missed you, I'm sorry. I'll catch up with you in the comments. You guys sometimes comment faster than I can read, which is good and fine.
Wow.
So I am excited about that. Jen
Tarah,
from you, she's like,
Tarah,
that is the coolest thing.
Tarah. Who the hell does stuff like that?
It matched my earrings.
Yeah.
He just took your earring right through the screen and took it
Tastes
out of
like-
the mouth.
That's what I was feeling like. Yeah.
Tastes
I'm
like
like,
credit.
woo.
I think my wife's in the other room.
That was impressive. I like that one.
She should come say hi.
Nah. No, she shouldn't. You should come up and say hi.
I will. I'm gonna do that soon. And Heather commented, "Holy shit, Jim!"
Thank you, Heather. Now, where's Heather?
Heather's in my Toronto friend.
Okay, yeah. Wow.
When in doubt, they're from New England or Canada. That's how it works with me.
That's you.
Yeah, and I totally know Heather because like I know everybody in Canada.
Yeah. But you do actually know Heather.
Virtually.
Yeah,
Oh,
spiritually.
virtually.
Anyway, I'm so thankful that you came on today to chat
Thank
with
you.
us.
Thank you.
It was a lot of fun, and I know you you have a show tonight, right?
Today I'm actually off tonight, but I have a hypnosis show tomorrow at the casino, and then Sunday I have a magic show at the casino.
Tell everybody what casino for those that don't know.
It's the Mohegan Sun Casino in Connecticut. And if you have Connecticut listeners, you said, right?
I do, yeah.
Tell all your Connecticut listeners if they want to come to either one of my shows, just to send me an email and tell them to remind me that, they heard this broadcast, and I'll leave them tickets.
Awesome.
Hypnosis.
So all of you friends in the Connecticut area, if you're watching the show live or on the replay, go to Jim's website. You'll see his email there, and you can send him an email and say, hey, I heard you on the Breakthrough Show, and he'll hook you up with tickets. So
that's right. That'd be fun. I'm doing one at 4 o'clock tomorrow, then one at 5 o'clock on Sunday, but any shows.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being on today, Jim.
Is our conversation now over?
It can be, yes.
Or we could keep going.
We could talk about, I fear that if we stay on too long, we'll go into rounds of conversation that you may not want to talk about live.
Oh, I don't give a shit. Let's talk about our family. Let's tell these people how wacko the Spinatos are.
Oh, yeah, we could do that. We could talk about the Spinatos and the craziness. So.
Who should we start with, your side or mine?
I think they even out pretty well. I love your daughter, Angela.
My daughter is a whack job. She's my favorite. No, I love her. Listen, I love her. She's the best. She's the best. Yeah, she's a little lady.
I love Angela, and we can talk about. We can talk about cousin Julia, but we'd have to end the show right now.
Cousin Julia, because she's so sweet. I've only met her a handful of times. I told you. I told you she came up on stage. Yeah, she was a sweetheart. You know who's a jerk though?
Who's a jerk?
We better end the show right now.
All right, everybody, we're going to end the show right now. We're going to end the show right now before all our family business falls all over the place here. I want to thank everybody for watching today. I want to thank my fabulous panelist and co-host for the day, Tarah Abram, my juice girl,
Tarah,
my Canadian Timbit.
Tarah, thanks for coming out today.
And thank you so much to my cousin Jim. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sweetie. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Thanks.
All right. We'll see you guys next time on another episode of The Breakthrough.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Breakthrough. Please visit our website at www.thebreakthroughshow.com. And be sure to join our After the Breakthrough community powered by Patreon. We look forward to seeing you next week. Same time, same place for another inspiring episode.